Hey kids, welcome to the SAT writing course here at Makers Academy. Today I wanted to share with you my top tip for answering reading comprehension style questions for the SAT writing section. Guys, my name is Jin Bae and I'll be your teacher for this course. So I've scored in the top 99th percentile on many of these different exams, right? Most recently the SAT. And I've worked with thousands of students and helped a lot of them do the same. Now, the reason I'm able to do this is because everything that I teach, right, is based on my experiences studying for, analyzing, and taking these actual tests. So everything that you're about to hear is based on the strategies that have worked for me and have helped me get the biggest jumps to my score in the shortest amount of time. Now, today's top tip, right, is an in-test strategy that you can apply right now, right, as soon as you're ready to take an SAT writing practice test. And that tip is you want to focus on matching ideas and not just words. Okay? And you want to use this type of strategy when you're answering reading comprehension style questions, just like the one you see up here. Right? Now, the reasoning behind this philosophy or behind this tip is that the correct answers to a lot of these questions on their surface won't look like they should be right. In other words, the correct answer won't have specific words that you'll find in the reading passage. Right? However, if you take a deeper look at the answer choice and really try to understand the idea that the answer choice is expressing, right, or is talking about, right, then you might see things differently. Right? And the correct answers to these questions will be consistent, right? Their ideas will be consistent with the main ideas that are discussed in the reading passage. Now, the opposite is true for incorrect answers. For incorrect answers, on the surface, the written words look really good, right? So you might see specific words in the answer choice that you might find in the reading passage, right? However, if you try to understand at a deeper level, right, the meaning that the answer choice conveys, it will not be consistent. It won't be supported by the ideas talked about in the reading passage, right? And so that's a little bit of the theory behind this strategy. And so let's take a look at how this works in practice. So what we'll do is we'll actually answer an SAT writing question from an actual test together. I'll read over the passage and discuss the answer choices using this strategy that we just learned about. Right? So the passage reads, "Young readers were especially saddened at the loss of their hero. Making headlines around the world, the death of such a beloved character spurred a public outcry. The author received an abundance of angry letters petitioning for Holmes's return. It is even said that Londoners don black armbands in solidarity. Such armbands are a traditional symbol of mourning. Conan Doyle's decision was a serious blow not only to the public but also to Strand magazine. Editors panicked as 20,000 people canceled their subscriptions." Now, the question asks us, which choice best introduces the topic or the main idea of this paragraph? So in other words, when we summarize the main idea of this paragraph, in other words, what is this paragraph really focused on? Right? What is the core idea of this paragraph? Right? Well, what is that? Well, the main idea of this paragraph is really about the public's reactions. Right? Now, the public's reactions to what? Well, the public's reactions to the end of the story's character, or Sherlock Holmes. Right? So more specifically, the public, the people who loved Sherlock Holmes, they reacted very negatively, right, to Sherlock Holmes disappearing from the story. Right? So now our goal here, right, is to find an answer choice whose idea, not just surface or written words, but whose idea matches or is supported, right, or is consistent with the ideas that we just determined from the main ideas of this paragraph. Right? So here what we're going to do is we're going to jump to the correct answer, which is D. And we'll take a look at, this answer choice using this strategy or this tip. Okay, so D reads, "While Conan Doyle was more than ready to part with the character, legions of fans were not." Now, on the surface, right, this doesn't really look like, right, it can be the correct answer because specific words like legions and fans and ready to part with, these are words that we don't find in the reading passage, right? However, right, if we try to understand this answer choice at a deeper level, understand the idea, right, behind what this answer choice is actually saying, we might see things differently, Right? So what is the core idea? What is the main idea of this answer choice? Well, it's about legions of fans were not. What is that actually saying? This is actually saying that many fans, right? These are people who loved, right? Fans who loved Sherlock Holmes were not ready to let him go. Now, does that idea match, or is that idea consistent, or is it supported by the ideas in the reading passage? Well, definitely. Right? Because the main ideas discussed in the reading passage, right, they're all about giving us examples. They're showing us, right? They're showing us how the public, right, reacted negatively, how they did not want Sherlock Holmes, right, to disappear from the story, right? And so this is why answer choice D is the correct answer, right? Using this high-level tip or strategy can help you to easily, or more confidently, right, find the correct answer. Okay? Now let's evaluate the wrong answer choices. And so if we take a look at A, it says, young readers were especially saddened at the loss of their hero. Now on the surface, this looks pretty good, right? So if we're just looking for matching words to choose an answer from, right, we might choose something like A, right? Because words like saddened, right, can be found in the paragraph through words like public outcry or words like mourning, which are just synonyms of the word sad, right? Also, the phrase the loss of their hero can be found in the paragraph where it has the death of a beloved character, which is also a synonym, right, of the information in the answer choice. However, if we try to understand the main idea of what this answer choice is talking about, right, we'll see that, hey, it's really about young readers and their sad reactions to Sherlock Holmes disappearing, right? Now, the paragraph does not focus on these young readers. In other words, the paragraph isn't discussing or talking about teenagers or young children, elementary school students, right? Young kids, young readers. Instead, the paragraph is just focusing on the general public, right? The fans who loved Sherlock Holmes. So we know that A is not going to be the correct answer, right? When we apply this strategy here. Same thing with answer choice B. The periodicals of the time played an important role in expressing the public's feelings. Can you see how if we're just trying to look for answers by matching words, we might end up choosing something like B, right? Because the specific words periodicals, yeah, is kind of a match to words like headlines, yeah, and words like Strand Magazine, which is an example of a periodical. Same thing with the phrase the public's feelings, right? This is going to be exemplified or illustrated by words in the passage or in the paragraph, you know, angry letters, right, or mourning, which are just examples of emotions that people have, right? But again, if we take a look at the core, if we try to understand the core idea, right, the main idea of what answer choice B is actually talking about, right, well, it's focused on the periodicals and the important role that they played. In other words, it's talking about the importance of periodicals, right? Now, does the paragraph focus on that? Not at all, right? So we don't have matching ideas, right? Although we might have specific words that are written, right, that do match, the ideas don't. Right? So we got to cross out something like B. Now, answer choice C, what I want you guys to do is, as I read this, I want you guys to be thinking about, right, hey, what is the main idea, right, of this answer choice? Okay, and see if you can spot it. Okay, see if it matches the main idea that I'll tell you guys. So C says, it had been only 18 months since the Strand published its first Holmes story, but the magazine's success was already dependent on the detective. So what's the main idea that's being conveyed in answer choice C? Well, it's about the magazine and their success, right? Now, does that match the main idea that's talked about, right, in the paragraph? Not at all. Because again, the main idea in the paragraph is all about the public, right? The general public and their negative reactions to Sherlock Holmes being gone from this story, right? So we know that we can cross out something like answer choice C because we don't have matching topics or matching ideas, yeah? So you can apply this tip immediately, right, and see kind of like instant results, yeah, to your SAT writing score. Now, if you're interested in other little tips, right, that'll help you get real results, right, on the SAT writing section, then make sure you guys to give us a call, okay? I hope to see you guys real soon, right, in the classroom. You guys take care, have an amazing day.